we were working with one other consultant who is still engaged with us as well, in combination with Marketlytics, like he works directly with them. That worked, but I think what we missed there, right, and that was also like one of the things that we noticed when Marketlytics came on board is that, let's say, one person can only have so many skills, right? Or let's say knowledge in different areas of dealing with data and dealing with marketing analytics. And I think that was the one part that we ran into is like, you need multiple people basically with different types of skill sets, from data engineering to data science to just overall data analytics. To work on problems, I think, at scale. And that was already, let's say, the reason why we were never going to do this in-house. Like, we're not going to, let's say, employ a team of multiple people to do that. That's just not, let's say, the way we like to have this set up. But Marketlytics, right, like, does provide that ability. Yeah, I think there's two things here. One, right, like a variety of skill sets. Like, a lot of agencies are still, let's say, relatively narrowly focused in one or two areas. And it was pretty clear that we needed, let's say, 2, 3, or 4. Like, we needed data science at some point. And we needed, let's say, decent or like deep expertise in certain areas. And it was clear that they had worked on that already. So that was very convincing. And on a secondary level, like, they were really flexible in let's say, growing with us, which is always important from both, let's say, a cost, but also like a flexibility perspective for growing companies. Like, we were 2.5 years ago not at the stage where we would be like, okay, we have a retainer ready for an agency and just, let's say, start pitching us on what you think is useful. And they were always very flexible and willing to grow with us. And we allowed for that too on our end. So that gave us, let's say, the ability to like grow up together in all of this, which is, let's say, a great learning tool for both teams as well. Yeah, they've given us a clear insight into channel performance through attribution modeling. And let's say, I can't put a specific number on, let's say, what that brought us. But let's say we spent literally over less than 2.5 years, like tens of millions of dollars in marketing. So getting things wrong by a few percent, like, that's a significant impact on either, let's say, your investment or like the overall return on an investment. And then having that confidence in our data and ensuring that, like, a lot of the data pipelines are actually reliable and we have good monitoring on that. Like, that is what they have provided us with. And that basically, like, enables us to be better at our internal decision making on where to spend or where to double down on or where to cut back, basically. So basically, having an insight into what works and what doesn't work, like, that's what they really deliver for us.
That's great. That's great. That's really great. On a scale from 1 to 10, how likely are you to recommend Marketlytics to the friends?
The classic MPS question.
Yep.
I would say a 9.
Why so?
Let's say overall affordable, very high quality, great availability and support, and great variety of skill sets. And if that's, let's say, what you're looking for in an agency, if you have, let's say, those needs, then yeah, it's a great fit.